This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
Welcome back into Financial Straight Talk. It's all powered by Wadadley Financial Group with the founder, president, and investment advisor, Representative Jim Fox. Also, Lucas Kalin joining us on the program here today. My name is Kevin McAlpin. Thanks so much, as always, for joining us here on the show as we talk all things retirement, putting that plan in place for your future. Obviously, not something you want to try to do on your own. And that's why Jim Fox and his team at Wadadley Financial Group are here for you. Pick up the phone, give him a call, get on his calendar today, 321-414-7526. Obviously, it's important to have that plan in place. That's why it's right there in the phone number, folks. 321-414-PLAN or online anytime at getfst.com. Well, guys, I know we've talked about this on the show before, and Jim, obviously, it's important to know where your money is when you invest it. You and I were sort of joking off air. I got into the crypto thing for a little while. I know you do crypto a little bit more than I do, but I was one of those people, Jim. I had no idea how it worked. I didn't understand why the numbers would go way up one day and way down the next. I got out. I got too scared. You know, I didn't have the fortitude that a Jim Fox has in the crypto market.
My dad says, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough, right? That's what my dad would always say. So, but yeah, I mean, we see it every day, right? And not just crypto, but I mean, annuities and ETFs and stocks. I mean, there's just so many people. We were talking about some of my home runs that I have picked over the years that are down 99.99%.
They're up today, though.
Yeah, they're up, but still now I'm down 99.98%, right? So there's just certain things that, you know, that maybe you should think long and hard about. And the problem is you typically buy things for a handful of reasons. One is the fear of missing out, right? FOMO, right? So your fear of missing out. Another one is because, you know, you just are following the trends, right? Or most of the time you're sold something, right? And that's kind of the kicker. But I'm going off because we're going to talk about Wheaties for a second here. So I want to hear all about what Mr. O'Neal has to say.
Yeah, I love this too. This is a great story. And Shaq, one of those guys that was a legend on the court, but really one of those guys who's become quite the character off the court. If you watch the NBA pregame show, you know what I'm talking about. Did you see this moment he had last week, guys, by the way? In the middle of the show, he just got up and walked off the set. Well, he had to use the restroom. Nature called right in the middle of a show. So what'd they do the next night? They put a porta potty on set right next there in case he had to visit the restroom again. But I bring up Shaquille O'Neal because, guys, he recently told the Wall Street Journal that for him, well, he only invests in things that he really, truly understands.
After my first championship, Wheaties. My people say, hey, man, why don't you be on the cover of Wheaties? I said, I can't do that. They said, what do you mean, brother? Breakfast champions? I said, don't know what it tastes like. Never going to taste it. Frosted Flakes will always be my first option. If you want to talk cereal business with me, then Fruit Loops, then Fruity Pebbles. Period. There ain't nothing to talk about.
This looks like my cabinet, my pantry with the Frosted Flakes, the Flakes, and the Fruity Pebbles, and all the good stuff there, the Fruit Loops as well. But guys, I bring it up because Shaq is obviously worth a lot of money, but he only invests in things that he truly understands. So while we know that works well for Shaq, how can you help your folks decide the type of investments that are appropriate for their each individual situations?
So, and Lucas, just tell me your take on this. I mean, we get people that come through the door and they own tons of stocks. I mean, I'm not inputting this stuff in for analytics anymore. That's what you guys do for me. But people own, I mean, literally in some cases, hundreds of stocks that they probably know little to nothing about. Fair enough?
Very fair. I mean, we show them that scatter plot on the Morningstar report, and I'm sure they don't know what half of that stuff is.
What about the annuities? I mean, we see tons of annuities. How many of them truly understand those annuities?
Very few.
Right? We have REITs, right? Real Estate Investment Trust. Do they ever understand that?
No.
Opportunity zones. I mean, it goes on and on. And it could be the crypto, and it could be... Here is the problem, and I alluded to this at the beginning of the segment. People get things sold to them. And I truly believe that people get things sold to them. And an example of that is I went and bought Hunter a new trombone over the weekend because, you know, he had gotten really good. And so it's time to progress to the next one. And I, got a great deal on it. I left and I realized I just got sold this maintenance repair insurance that I know I'm never going to use, right? It was $109 for this thing that I know because I had it on the last one and I never used it, right? It was sold to me as, hey, well, if anything ever happens, since it's such a big purchase, you can have this, right? And I look at that. And by the way, I was too lazy to turn around and drive back to the store and change it. So now I told Hunter, make sure you bang this thing up so we can get something out of it. But you got to do it at a time that we can afford it to be in the shop for a week. Right. But, I started thinking about the clients that come through our door. And we have people that will come in. And Lucas, do you know off the top of your head what the most annuities that you ever seen with one given client? Do you have a rough estimate on what that might be?
Maybe 5.
5?
I've seen 5
So
once,
we have a
maybe.
guy, his name was Trevor, and I'll never forget Trevor. This is somebody that John and I met with probably right around COVID, so 2020. They had 13 annuities. 13. Wow. Some had 100, some had 200, some had 35. And what it looked like is every time Trevor went to a dinner seminar, they sold him another annuity. And I'll never forget asking Trevor, why do you have all these things? He's like, yeah, man, I don't like the volatility of the market. Well, there are things like CDs and money markets, brother. My point is, the annuities, and I'm saying the annuities were bad. I'm saying that they were sold to him for a reason that didn't make sense, right? And this is everything. This is the people that come in and they have a risk score of 30, right? That's kind of like a conservative approach. And then we run their nitrogen. I always have a problem calling them by their new name, nitrogen. And their nitrogen score is 83. There's a problem there. Their portfolios have more risk than they're comfortable with. And the reality, and I truly believe this, is that people are sold things, and they're sold things that they don't understand. Now, our fatal flaw, and Lucas, I will say that this is a chink in our armor. We could probably dramatically increase revenue, but there's one thing we don't do in our office. That's sell stuff to people. We provide solutions. If you remember, go to our summary page in your mind, Lucas, and that first bullet point, we have 3 colors. What are those 3 colors?
Green, yellow.
Meaning that they're what? They're in good shape.
Good.
Yellow means what?
There's some concern.
And then red?
There's a lot of concern.
We're in deep doo-doo,
yeah,
right?
Deep doo-doo.
And that is, so when we sit down with somebody, we had a lady come in, and Carol, if you're on, hello. She kicked butt, did she not? Remember?
Oh, yes.
Dude, ladies and gentlemen, she's a lady that we don't like because she just picked all the right things at all the right times, But what was great about it is we sat down and we did the analytics. The analytics tell the story in our office. This isn't Jim, Lucas, John trying to sell you an annuity, trying to sell you an ETF, trying to sell you Market Guard. This is a portion of your portfolio that may not be properly allocated, that might not do the job you want it to do. And we show you the analytics on why it's not doing it. And then we give you a series of options to decide what the right fit for you is. Let me help you out is a quick example, because we're going to talk about annuities in a second. Annuities are oversold in our industry, and I believe it with all of my heart, okay? We use them for certain issues in our office, i.e. income, long-term care, death benefit, things like that. But just because you're scared of the market doesn't mean you should buy an annuity, right? So when we sit down with somebody, we will show them you need X amount of dollars in income. Your choices are, if you were to put, and I'm making this number up, $387,000 in this income generating annuity, it'll provide income for you for the rest of your life. Now, if we choose to use a dividend fund or something like that, it might take $604,000 to generate the same amount of money. And if you choose to use the markets because more volatility, it might take $812,000 to generate the same income. In our office, it's all about transparency and understanding your options. We have a pretty simple rule that we follow here, Lucas, and it's all about transparency. It's all about making sense. And our goal when the dust settles is to use the least amount of money to generate income so you can have the rest of the money to go and do what?
Whatever you want.
Have fun. Do the things you want to do. How many times since you've been in this office and you joined, God, has it really been 2 years?
It's been about 2 years now.
Wow, 2 years. How many times have you ever seen us, either John or myself, bring on a client and do the paperwork on the second appointment? How many times does that happen?
Never.
Not once. Why? Because, Kevin, it takes me 3 months to buy a barbecue grill.
Right.
Do you think that I expect someone to give me $1 million, $2 million, $4 million, $400,000 the second time they meet us? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. This is all about understanding what you have, what you're trying to accomplish, and what are the options. I agree with Shaq. I do not want Wheaties. My wife likes those nasty frosted, like Wheatie things, whatever they're called. Mini wheats. Yeah, they should be outlawed. Okay, DeSantis, do me a favor, make them illegal in Florida.
My least favorite thing about those is all the little flakes that get at the bottom, and you pour out that last bowl of cereal, and
gross.
It just.
Yeah, so Lucas is fired, and we're not allowing him in anymore. And I'll give you another great example as I'm running to the end of my segment. My wife went out, and we grew up on Cookie Crisp, guys. Cookie Crisp. Yeah. My wife, no, she's bougie. She's in Vieira. So she brought home the crumble cookie version. Nope, doesn't win. It sucked, all right? I need my Cookie Crisp. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you buy what you want, and whatever you want is what will accomplish the goals for you. But this is your money. I should not be selling you something. I should not be convincing you to do something. We should be working together as a team. I'm going to test you real quick. The last segment of our proposed outline at the very bottom in bold center. Do you remember what that says?
Things are always changing.
Things are always changing. The next line. That's why we believe a relationship with an advisor is the most important part. Last sentence. It is important that all of us are on the same page. That is how we end every single meeting in our office. We want you to know we're not trying to sell you stuff. We're not trying to make you buy something you want to do. We're here to provide solutions. We're here to have discussions. And in the end, we believe it is up to you to make the right decision for you and your family. We hope that resonates with somebody out there. And we want you to pick up the phone and give us a call. We're here to look at where you're at. We're here to see if what you're doing is on track. We're here to give you that second opinion. We're here, but we can't do anything for you unless you pick up the phone. My team is standing by right now to take your call. 321-414-7526. Again, 321-414-PLAN.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have that plan in place. You want to make sure you understand exactly what is included in that plan. And that's why Jim Fox and his team at Wadadley Financial Group are standing by. Give them a call today. Get that initial consultation scheduled at 321-414-7526, 321-414-PLAN, or online it's getfst.com. That's getfst.com. Well, guys, got about a minute left in the program, and like we do each and every week, I'm going to leave the floor all yours today for the final word.
Well, Kevin, thanks so much. Every week, guys, Kevin and I like to say that we appreciate you listening. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're honored to be one of those resources. So if there's anything we can do for you, don't hesitate. Reach out. Give us a call. We're here to answer those questions. But on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.
Market Guard is a firm that provides investment signals as well as portfolio allocation recommendations for a wide variety of model portfolios. Market Guard does not offer advice or enter into fiduciary relationships.